Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nancy Mader, and I am the Director of Transition Projects here at the Federation for Children with Special Needs. Today is Transition Tuesday, so we're going to be talking about transition things. And one of the things I want to talk to you about today is evaluation, vocational evaluation, and work readiness. So for many years, I did vocational evaluation for adults with disabilities as well as students with disabilities who were referred to me through their high school. And I think about this time a lot when I'm talking to parents, when we're doing a Planning a Life conference, because it doesn't just mean going to a job where they get paid. It could be going to community-based day, because if that is what their goal is, if that is a happy, successful life to them, then, let's set them up to be really, really successful there. So thinking about work readiness and thinking about vocational evaluation, the best information I could give to parents and schools and transition coordinators and whoever was going to be working with that student was when they had questions for me. What are you looking for? What do you want to know about your student? So this could be really simple things. And so we're looking for their strengths and we're looking for their challenges around work, right? So how do they follow directions? Simple question. Can they follow one-step question? Two-step questions. How many steps can they follow? So start looking at those things. When you give them something to do, how many steps can you give them where they can do it on their own, and then you need to come back in and help them complete it? Another thing that you can look at is asking follow-up questions. If you gave them something to do, did they ask you a follow-up question? Or did they just sit there and wait for you to notice that they weren't started? If they started and realized they didn't understand it, did they ask for help? Did they keep doing it wrong? Or did they just stop and wait to be noticed? So these are things that I always looked for as a vocational evaluator. These are things that when there were the tests that I did and how they were scored and all of those things. And that was like this much of the report. And then my observations were pages and pages. So observe these things. Start looking at your student and determining what questions do you want to know about them. Can they work more than 2 hours? Can they work 8 hours? How many hours can they work? Look at those things. Are they self-motivated? If they have a chore that they do every day, do you every single day have to tell them to do it? Do they get up and do it? And how can you build on those skills that they have? What other things, just think about what you want to know about them. Write those questions down. And while you guys are home, you can start to think about these things and document them and build on them. So if they can follow 2-step directions right now, how do you get them to 3? Talk to them about asking follow-up questions if that's something that they might be able to do, and talk to them about the importance of it. So if you don't understand the directions and you're at a job and your boss has to keep coming back to you, they're going to get tired of that. You need to be an asset. So let's talk to your students about why follow-up questions are so important, why being self-motivated is so important, why, starting a task and completing it, doing it right the first time. So many of these little things that we can start working on at an earlier age than 14. You start working at them as early as possible, so you can keep building these skills to get them more and more ready to go to whatever they want to do after school. It's not just work readiness here. I mean, this is skills beyond work, but today it's around work readiness that we're talking about. So how do you do these things? What can you guys be doing right now? Chores. Whenever I saw a student who had chores, I was so excited, because it's a responsibility and they do learn so much from doing chores. They learn, one, to do it right. My kids have chores, and when they don't do them right, they have to go back and do them again. Such an important skill. They learn, the responsibility. They learn that they have to keep track of it. They have to start it themselves. They have to finish it. So there's so many things that they can be doing right now, especially while we're all home. We don't have a lot of, we're getting outdoors as much as we can, but we're also inside a lot. And these are, things that can be worked on that are skill building and not necessarily academic. So maybe we can get our students more engaged in it. So, maybe you start with cooking meals or making their bed every day, or, whatever it is that you can do at home that can motivate your child or your student to do. Start working on it. Start thinking about the questions that you have about that student around work. Again, it can be really, really simple. I am going to put a whole bunch of free and easy resources into the comments on here so that you guys can click on those things. Some inventories, some interest inventories. We talked about the ONET last week. One of the best resources you can use. There's a free interest inventory on there that has both pictures and words you can go through with your student, and then you can take the results and plug them back in and talk about jobs. I think another thing that we can do is set our expectations high for our students. So maybe, you never thought about them working. Maybe they've never thought about themselves working. But if we set those expectations high for them and start talking to them about work and, the benefits of work and the value of money and what they can do with that money. And, some people don't value money, but they value being social, or, they value completing something. But anything that you can talk to them about and set those expectations high for them so that they can see themselves working, or they can see themselves going to school after high school. So that's what I have for you today. I'm going to list a whole bunch of things in the comments. Tomorrow we have Wellness Wednesday, so that will be at 2. And everybody hang in there. We're all in this together. I'm thinking of all of you. Please reach out to the Federation. Our call center is open. You can email us. You can, DM us on Facebook. Reach out to us because we're here for you, and we'll help you get through what you need to get through. Take care, everyone.